Section 11 then gives the language exercises for Chapter 8. We begin with more practice parsing verbal forms. So for instance, the first form is tik badi. When I see this form, I note a prefix ti, which I'm used to seeing on verbal forms, and I see an ending e, which I'm also used to seeing. So this matches my paradigm for the cal imperfect. And then with ti and e, second feminine singular of the root kavad. So this would gloss as you, feminine singular, will be heavy or will be honored or something of that nature. Do the rest of A to practice your parsing. Part B then gives you time to work on parsing verbs and translating clauses, phrases, or sentences. So for instance, the first is from Exodus 8:6. Now notice in the Hebrew, it's chapter 8, verse 6, but in English translations, it's typically chapter 8, verse 10. When this type of situation occurs, that the Hebrew and English verses are off count, you will typically put the English in brackets after the Hebrew citation. The phrase is Ein ka Adonai. So ein, we know from this chapter and from our vocabulary, is the particle of non-existence. There is not, and then we have the preposition ka on the front. Now because I have the patak vowel, I know that this form is going to be hiding a definite article. So ka is like, so there is none like Adonai. There is none like the Lord. Do the rest of the examples in B to practice your work. Then finally, section 12, the exegetical exercise for chapter 8, introduces what we call Kativ Kareh readings. Kativ, what is written, Kareh, what is said or read. You'll notice that occasionally you will have a form where out in the margin you have a kof standing for Kareh, and then you'll notice that in the text you'll have a form that corresponds to it. This form we call a Kativ Kareh is a case where the Masoretic reading of the text didn't agree with the consonantal text, and this was handled through this concept we call Kativ Kareh. The exegetical exercise in chapter 8, section 12 helps you understand what's going on with that type of situation and how to interpret the Hebrew Bible in those situations.